Welcome to the Uplevel Your Life, Decode Your Reality with Soul Code session, where I'll be sharing the codes of energies from the soul purpose system each fortnight on Thursday, New Zealand time at 11 a.m. in the Future Transcendence Community Facebook group. I'm Melissa Taylor from Future Transcendence, and I'm level 2 certified in the soul purpose system by Ariella Juno Indigo to empower people to identify and align with their life purpose. And in these sessions, I'm firstly going to share information about the soul code for the session. And secondly, I'll share knowledge and questions for you to reflect and pause on related to the energy or the code to really empower you to bring about positive results in your life. And the reflection part of these sessions is to embrace the divine feminine and to hear wisdom from your soul. Then you can bring in the masculine to take action to bring about changes in your life. So the soul purpose system is an ancient system based on the Sefer Yetzirah book of creation. And it's a system that's been brought forward into modern day to help with humanity's evolution. There are 22 codes in this system, and they are in everything, including your DNA. And I'll randomly select one code each fortnight, and this will be relevant energy for that 2-week period. So I invite you to relax, pause, and reflect on what you were creating with this energy. And your birth name is creating your reality and holds the keys to your higher calling, including your talents, challenges, goals, and soul destiny. And you have specific soul codes you have brought in, and these can be seen in your life purpose profile. If you have your life purpose profile, then refer to it as you learn about the codes. And even if a code isn't in your profile, there's wisdom to gain from all codes because they are all in your DNA. And if you haven't got your life purpose profile, then simply email me at info@futuretranscendence.com and I'll send you your birth name profile. So I encourage you to participate by asking questions in the comments and share your insights with me as you engage with these energies in your life. So let's now explore the code for this session. It is soul code number 22, divine completion. And the Hebrew letter is Tav. So let's begin by connecting you to the divine feminine, that place of calm and stillness within. And when you relax, pause, and reflect on, you open up yourself to more intuition and the whispers from your soul. And when you create with the feminine, it asks you just to be. So take a deep breath and close your eyes. And I want you to imagine taking your focus and attention from your mind, imagining your forehead and dropping down into your heart. And I want you to imagine a chamber in your heart. It's warm and inviting, it's safe and loving here. Imagine, sense and see green and pink light all around you. Breathe into that space within your heart. Feel your heart expand with each breath. Breathe in love, breathe out fear, breathe in compassion, and breathe out doubts. Breathe in appreciation and breathe out disgust. Opening up your heart to hear messages for you as you listen with your heart today. Now coming out of your heart into your whole being and opening up your energy to hear messages for you as you listen today. And allow all of the energy of soul code number 22 to integrate with you. And one more deep breath. And then on the count of 3, ready to absorb and listen. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. So here is soul code number 22 and the Hebrew letter on this card. And these are cards that Ariella Juno Indigo created. So just absorb its energy into your being. See the symbol, feel the frequency of number 22. Okay, so what are some of the features of this code? So when it's in upside or the talent or positive positions, it's total creativity. It's ability to be very accomplished in a particular area. They are a real service soul and they make excellent orators. They can have genius abilities in a particular area. They can be very competent and adaptable. They're a humanitarian, a philosopher, or a benefactor. What about when this code is in the, what are some of the downsides or when it's in challenge or negative? Well, you're integrating the polarity theme of beauty and ugliness and fertility and infertility because of the 4 energy of this code, because it's the 22-4. So it can mean challenges accepting your own inner beauty and accepting the beauty in all things. You can experience extremes. You can feel very disconnected and abandoned by the divine. So very much disconnected from source. There can be a messiah complex. There can be arrogance and being overly confident. You can feel mentally very scattered, and there can be blocked creativity or blocked expression. In terms of deceased people who had this code in their birth name, life purpose profile include Carl Jung and Marilyn Monroe. So there are 2 questions and themes that intuitively came through to me for you to explore, and I invite you to reflect and pause on in relation to the energy of code number 22-4. So question 1 is, how does one attain mastery? So there is a book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell that explains that there is a 10,000-hour rule, and normally this equates to deliberate practice of a minimum of 10 years, acquiring skills to become an expert in a field. This works out to be roughly 20 hours per week of practice. And this is based on research of top performers in various fields, such as chess, maths, tennis, swimming, and music. And one important thing to note is that to attain mastery, it requires continual feedback on your performance. It's not enough simply to practice a skill repetitively. And this is why top performers have a coach. And you want to focus on where you need performance improvement to develop mastery. So one of the strategies of successful sports people has been visualization. When athletes visualize or imagine a successful competition, they actually stimulate the same brain regions as you do when you physically perform at that same action. So the more you mentally rehearse your performance, the more it becomes habituated in your mind. Okay, so question 2, do you see the beauty in all? Soul Code 22-4 is about the ugly to beauty polarity. So can you see the beauty in all, or are you seeing the ugly? Paulo Coelho in The Alchemist said, the simple things are also the most extraordinary things, and only the wise can see them. So you might be saying to yourself, it's a challenge to see the beauty in all, particularly with the negative news, sharing stories of war, world hunger, climate change, terrorism, tragic events and corruption, just to name a few. And these things can challenge us on a soul level. And how do you learn to take the higher road rather than adding more negative to the fire? And how do you witness the injustice in the world and not allow it to consume your light? His Holiness the Dalai Lama said, in the practice of compassion and tolerance, the one you consider your enemy is your best spiritual teacher. It is in this polarization or contrast that contains the seeds for personal excellence and spiritual advancement. And the Dalai Lama invites us to feel kindness and generosity in the face of disagreement. Paramahansa Yogananda stated, cheerfulness consists principally in the attitude of the mind and is conditioned only incidentally by outside factors. Your happiness need not die, stricken by poverty, sickness, or sorrow. Realize that enough hidden strength lies within you to overcome all obstacles and temptations. Bring forth that indomitable power and energy by being cheerful at all times in spite of your circumstances. Only when you lose your mental balance are you vulnerable to suffering. If you are burned by the fire of difficulties, apply the salve of cheerfulness until your inner balance and peace are restored. He also says this about death and the school of life. Why do we cry when our dear ones die? Because we sorrow for our own loss. If our loved ones leave us for training in better schools of life, we should rejoice instead of being selfishly sad, for we may keep them earthbound and hamper their progress by broadcasting our own selfish wills. The Lord is ever new, and by his infinite magic wand, renewing death, he keeps each created object, each living being, ever manifesting, ever remodeling itself into a fitter vehicle for his inexhaustible expressions. And death comes to dutiful men as a promotion to a higher state. It comes to failures to give them another chance in a different environment. The life beautiful evolves as souls are trained in the factory of mighty death. So these are spiritual leaders that can help guide you with their wisdom and light. However, it is up to you about what you choose to either see the beauty or the ugly. Model the behavior of what you want to see more of in the world. Choose love, compassion, and kindness, and you can be a change maker. And here's a quote from Rumi that speaks to healing yourself and leads you to completion, the essence of Soul Code number 22. Seek the wisdom that will untie your knot. Seek the path that demands your whole being. So I invite you to access the energy of Soul Code number 22 in your life. Write and journal what comes through to you intuitively when you reflect and pause on these questions and the energy of Soul Code number 22. And the theme song for this code is Heal the World by Michael Jackson. So I suggest you go listen to that. And as always, I would love to hear your comments on this session and look out for the next Uplevel Your Life, Decode Your Reality with Soul Code session in a fortnight on Thursday. And if you would like to have a life purpose briefing with me where we can decode your reality with your soul codes, I share the link in the comments. Here's to living your best life.